Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to Witches of the Moon. I'm your Saturday's hostess, Sunshine Morning Ray. And this week's topic is having a mentor or being self-taught. And this is week 12. So awesome! So let's go ahead and get right into it. First, let me say it's going to be a little bit difficult for me to speak on the subject of having a mentor because I don't think that I honestly fit the category of ever having a high priestess or high priest or mentor that would qualify, I guess, as a teacher. But I can say that in my 30 years, of course, there was my grandmother, my great-grandmother, excuse me, who I got tidbits of things from before she passed away when I was 18. And back in those days, of course, we didn't have the internet. Yes, I'm that old. So we had to go to the library, and if I was lucky enough to be able to find somebody who was on a pagan path as well, believe me, I definitely got with them and shared views and did what I could, to learn from them or to get what information I could from them. And over the 30 years, there's been lots of people still to this day that I learn things from still. But I can't say that I've ever had the benefit, I guess you would say, of maybe a coven or a high priestess to be able to turn to, or somebody who, in whatever the circumstance may be, whatever, my question may be, I don't have somebody that I can turn to about everything. So, I am a solitary witch. I have been a solitary witch for 30 years. All of my learning, for the most part, has been of my own accord. I have learned through books, through the internet, through people, through my grandparents, through my aunt, practice, and lots of study. And I have to say that I have not been influenced by another's path. I have not had to have that fear of whether or not something feels right that I'm doing, that someone else is instructing me to do. So basically, I guess what I'm saying is there are benefits to mentors, like having somebody to turn to when you're unsure. If you have 100% faith in somebody, then yes, you have somebody that you can turn to, and a mentor is awesome. But then you also have other avenues that you can turn to as a solitary witch, like the internet, social networking. There are so many pagan channels and perspectives and newsletters and blogs and postings that you can go to, that you can read to see if you are in, and you can compare them to see if you're in agreement. So, yes, having a mentor can be a good thing. Here's the downside that I would think to having a mentor might be. I don't know for sure. I don't want to be influenced in someone else's beliefs. And I can give an example. When I am conducting some type of casting, I have steadfast ways that I do my casting. Someone else might do theirs different. Now, if I was a beginner, learning from someone who has steadfast ways of casting like I do, then that beginner is going to think that that is the rule of thumb because that's what I'm teaching them. So further down the road, I would think that that person might be a little leery to add or take away from certain castings to make them their own. So influence from a mentor, although it can be helpful, I would think could also be harmful if you don't have what it takes to know that you can do your own thing as well. I hope that makes sense. Being a solitary witch, on the other hand, I have a wide range of things that I can pull from, that I can compare notes to, and that I can create on my own, making everything that I do mine. And I can share those, with people, as long as, goodness, the sun's getting bad. Oh my gosh. And it's closed. Believe it or not, the blind's closed. Oh, is that a little bit better? Anyway, so being solitary, I can do what I need to do and not have that fearful feeling that I'm doing something against the book, against the rules, or maybe that's not a good way to put that, because there are steadfast guidelines that I would hope all of you keep to. But as a solitary, Ziggy, come here. As a solitary, I am not bound by someone else's guidelines. I don't have to do it the way that someone else shows me, with fear of repercussion or ill works or something like that. And I've heard of that happening. Another bad thing about finding a mentor alone. About finding a mentor alone can be very, very stressful. How do you know that this person is what they say? And the amount of money that is charged just for you to get help in finding your spiritual path, or help down your spiritual path, is just incredible. And unfortunately, there are a lot of people out there that are taking advantage of that nowadays. A lot. So I would have to say mentor versus solitary. Personally, I'm strong enough willed to be able to do the solitary. I can find what I need. I know the path that I want. I know what I'm looking for. So I would have to say solitary for me, for sure. Now, if you need a mentor, there's nothing wrong with that. Just be real careful in finding one, in choosing one. Do your research about that too. I mean, just don't just fall in somebody's clutches and say, take me, I'm yours, do with me what you will. Because you could end up getting burned. So yes, having a mentor can be a good thing. Having a mentor can be a bad thing. In a solitary practice, when you mess up, it's your own fault. I would have to say go solitary. And stick with your options of research and the library and the internet and social networking, and see what that gets you first. And then to find a mentor, if you're absolutely determined that you need one, use your social networking and your research to find somebody worthy of that status. Don't ever put 100% into everything that someone says. Ever. You can trust a person, and you can believe what they say, but don't ever put 100% faith in 100% of what one person has to say. Even me. Even me. So, I was kind of all over the place, and I do apologize, but when it comes down to it, to be honest, I am a solitary witch. I am a proud solitary witch. I have become a solitary witch on my own, which I think gives me more, I don't know, self-esteem, I guess you might say. I don't know. Anyway, so if you have any questions, be sure to leave me a message down below. I guess I've pretty much touched on the topic the best I can. If I don't have answers for you, I'll definitely try to find them for you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Our drawing's coming up soon. I'm so excited. And if, distraction, sorry. Oh, and if you have subscribed, thank you so very much. So, I'm off to do one other video. I have an exciting video that I have to do for my channel, so come on over and check me out at my channel, Sunshine Morning Ray. And I guess I will talk to y'all soon. Have a good evening. Love y'all. Mwah. Bye-bye.